Next, we will review the network solution overview and how it fits into the VCF cloud models. Here we see the three prescriptive VCF cloud deployment models: hosted private cloud, managed private cloud, and public cloud. If you have not watched the learning module for the VCF solution overview, I highly recommend you review that overview in order to digest this information fully so that it makes sense. This diagram shows the hosted private cloud model. Here you see the network design with independent NSX managers per customer. VMware Cloud Director is not present in this architecture. Each tenant would have the networking capabilities supported by the NSX Enterprise Manager deployed for their workload domain. A separate NSX manager is required due to each workload domain being isolated. In terms of NSX provider versus tenant access, you would want to prevent a customer who is consuming hosted private cloud as part of a managed service offering or even a self-managed offering in a location where the customer has no access to the configuration of upstream network infrastructure from making any changes to the NSX T0 router, for example, which could affect their access to and from the VCF platform. To protect against such changes, you should consider restricting access to the T0 and NSX to prevent the tenant from breaking this configuration to the physical network. And one way to accomplish this is to use NSX projects. This diagram shows the hosted private cloud model option 2. This is essentially VCF as a service, where each customer has their own dedicated VCF instance with their own management domain. The NSX managers are located in a separate management domain as opposed to a single shared management domain. This diagram shows the hosted private cloud model option 3. This design is consolidated where the management components are installed on the customer's workload domain cluster. This can be used when smaller deployments are required, such as a customer that only needs 4 or 5 nodes. Here we see the managed private cloud model. It's the same as the hosted private cloud model 1 with the addition of VMware Cloud Director. VCD serves as the entry point into the environment for customers. And the best practice in this model for NSX changes for the tenant is that they're done through VCD at the tenant level. And finally, this diagram shows the public cloud model. This model was used by many providers who want to deliver a shared platform to reduce costs to their customers. In this model, there's a shared NSX manager for the VCF workload domain. And again, the best practice is for NSX changes for the tenant to be done through VCD at the tenant level.